Welcome to the Intuitive Teacup, my friends. These tarot readings are meant to motivate, empower, and inspire you. Please keep an open heart and an open mind as you watch these general readings, as some material will resonate and some might not. Do have faith it is serving someone out there, and take away only what resonates for you. Please release the rest. Feel free to book a personal reading with me if you would like something catered specifically to your inquiries and energy. That information is down below for you. You are responsible for all actions and decisions and the vibe that you bring to this channel. This is optional advice or guidance, and of course, you will always have free will. Check the box below for my social media links, the decks I use, and more information on this channel. Let's hop into your tarot reading. All right, Pisces, what's up? Happy February, happy Valentine's Day. We are going to do a full love spread for you. Quick preview, we're going to talk about how can you love yourself more? What do you positively contribute to relationships currently? These are the pros, right? Then we have areas of growth and focus. So you can look at them as a con, but where do you need to seek improvement, right, in your love life? And then who or what is coming towards you? I know we're very excited about that. Highly encourage you to hear all of it though, right? So who or what is coming into your life will be the last thing we do. Timestamps are down below. If I remember, I usually do. So how can you love yourself more? The first card that came out from Romance Angels is trust. The situation is calling for you to have trust. So trust your inner guidance system, right? Trust your intuition. When you feel a certain way about something or someone, best to trust that and always seek a deeper meaning or a reason behind it, right? If you feel pulled to that person, that's your truth. That's valid. It's absolutely worth exploring. But make sure it's for, I'm wanting to use the word, the right reasons. The right reasons, I know that's a little bit muddled, but is this person for your best and highest good? Do you guys have the same goals and plans and ideas? I mean, if it's very early on, can we keep it casual, right? You know, watch the obsession, watch the codependency, and vice versa. Sometimes we feel drawn to people and it's worth exploring. And then other times we feel like, oh, something's weird there. Like, I'm curious and I want it to work. But again, trust your inner guidance system. If the obstacles or the walls are going up, if they're not returning your texts, trust that what they are communicating to you in non-communicating is the message, right? There's something about, it's funny, I'm sort of getting this kind of mix of go deep into the emotions, ask yourself why, be very inquisitive of the meaning behind your feelings or the thought behind your actions. Like, go deeper, be very self-analytical. I think that's good for you, Pisces. Ironically, what I'm getting, though, is in terms of the intentions of those around you, you have to take it at face value. If someone says, I like you, but I don't want to marry you, or I love you, but I don't want to be in a relationship, that is their truth, and that's all you have to go by. So as much as that may please you or make you feel uncomfortable, ultimately it is up to you with how you respond to it. This is also calling for you to have faith, too. So trust whether someone was pushed into your life or removed from it. Something about that is of value. If it's something you could argue is a little bit more negative or difficult, it's probably a valuable lesson to learn. So don't beat yourself up about it. But also don't put yourself in victim mentality. Stand strong on your own 2 feet. But again, be very analytical about every relationship you're experiencing right now, whether it's platonic or romantic. And I am reading for romance. You need to dig deeper why. It's funny, the word trust is what's on this card. I keep hearing truth. What is the truth? And I feel like that's something a lot of you are asking right now. So it could be that you're having some sort of suspicion about, is this person all talk and no action? Again, you have to go with the evidence that is on the table rather than creating a fantasy or projecting what you wish this person could be. You have to go with the solid facts of what you have going in front of you right now. What is evidence? I keep hearing the word truths. I heard like evidence and truth. We hold these truths to be self-evidence. Anyway, and then you have judgment. Okay, so judgment frequently has to do with going back to the past and tying up loose ends, closing out a cycle properly because there's still some lingering baggage. Now, because this is coming up in how can you love yourself more, this is saying to me you are so close to graduating from an older cycle where maybe you weren't loving in the highest vibration, or maybe you were giving your love, your time, your attention to people who maybe weren't as deserving of it as they should be. The thing is, I think you've ascended a lot, Pisces. I sense that you've had a lot of difficult but necessary lessons. And the thing is, you have really nice things coming in, but there's some, pardon the word choice, but there's some damage that was done that you've come a long way from, but there's still little triggers. There's emotional triggers. So I think universe is asking when you are comfortable to, or maybe it's just going to be uncomfortable, uncomfortable. Can you go back and finally heal those wounds where I'm getting sort of metaphors of like, the wound has healed over, but there's still scar tissue. Again, in metaphor, right? Hopefully that's just a metaphor. I think it's going back to make sure that you have cut ties with things that are no longer in alignment with you. That's the message here. Give me one more thing on that. How can Pisces love themselves specifically in the month of February? What would be a good action to take to show the universe that they're operating in a higher vibration and they do truly love themselves? That one's sticking out. What is this one? Some of you may need to, there's a 2-message thing here. Some of you may need to cut it off with an Aquarius who held you back, especially from the past. Some of you are just thinking about an Aquarius, or you may also be thinking about long-term hopes and dreams and wishes. More than likely, though, this is a card of healing. It comes after the Tower. So again, something that came through your life, I'm hearing like Tasmanian devil. It caused chaos. It caused a ruckus. It completely, spun you off course. There's nothing wrong with that, because ultimately Tower moments come through to rescue us when we're not able to see it ourselves. It's like when you can't see the forest from the trees. This is about realigning to your North Star and honoring your inner truth. Again, the word truth. What does that mean to you? You should journal about that word. Truth and trust. Those are 2 very important words. In fact, I know this sounds kind of silly, but something about the letter T. I don't know if that may be significant, especially TT. I don't know if that's someone's initials, or I don't know. Something about that is important. Honoring your inner truth and not being able to take a break from dating if that is what you feel you need in order to fully heal from whatever was holding you back from the past. A lot of you, it feels like there was a divorce in your life, and the thing is, I think most of you know that you acted in a way that honored what you needed. It's not to say it was perfect. You may look back with a few shoulda, coulda, wouldas. Ultimately, most of you made the decision to either divorce or end something, especially if you had a child with this person. It's about acknowledging that that was what you needed at the time, and you did the best you could with the tools you had, but you have more now. Again, I'm wanting to say, not falling back on old patterns of behavior, especially beating yourself up and feeling guilty for things that transpired. It's not to say we always do things the correct way, right? Everybody is entitled to learn, right? And sometimes we learn via other people and relationships, which sometimes it's unfair when it's happening to you and you want that person to love you and they don't. It's possible you were guided into their life because you had something of value to offer them in terms of their spiritual path, right? It may have been a karmic relationship, but not necessarily a long-term one. The message is a little foggy to me, but for a lot of you, it has to do with not necessarily reconciling, but more or less whatever was ended or severed or cut, your mind still wanders back to that. And I'm thinking universe is either saying, we need to embrace it entirely and go back to that person and make it work, or the opposite. We need to finish out that cycle so that they are no longer blocking us in our path forward in new relationships, especially with the Aquarius. If some of you are already dating or communicating with an Aquarius and you feel like your truth is that this person's actually really good for me, this person brings more spirituality and a sense of calm and peace of mind, this person is compassionate and cares about me, follow that lead, follow that truth, trust your intuition, right? Something about an Aquarius coming through here is very important. It could be that you went to a best friend or someone in your family for guidance on your romantic relationships, more or less for most of you. This is not for all of you. For most of you, there's something here about listen to the Aquarius, remember their words, remember what they said to you. It's not me, I'm not an Aquarius, right? But something about you were dealing with an Aquarius who said something very significant to you, possibly an Aquarius from your past. Trust that that message has a lot of value to it, a lot of integrity. There's something very important about going back to a conversation with an Aquarius, or again, about your spiritual healing. It could even be a message from a spirit guide that you got, and it is about you focusing on your own well-being and your health. Hang out with people and embrace and invest time with people who do good things for your mental health, who bring you stability and a sense of peace and calm, who allow you to stay grounded, but also allow that beautiful, fantastical, whimsical, dreamer-type Piscean energy. hold on to that. That is you. That is your truth. That is you. That is your identity. You shouldn't have to mold that or change that to fit in with the right person. They will love you because of that. All right. What are you doing beautifully? What are your positive attributes or qualities that you bring to any relationship? You're a soulmate, Pisces. You do good things for compatibility. I think this is a mixed message because I think a lot of my Pisces will bend over backwards for their person. That is beautiful. That is loving. That shows that you are in it for the right reasons, but also that can lead to your detriment too, because sometimes you have trouble setting very firm boundaries, right? You overextend yourself in some ways. So that's very Neptunian, right? Calling in your soulmate. Your prayers, affirmations, and visualizations help bring you together. I will also say that if you are single and trying to manifest, this is great to me. This is saying, we hear you. Like your angel gang, your spiritual tribe, your ancestors, whoever you believe in as a higher power, right? They're like, we hear you. Keep manifesting. Tell us more. What about your soulmate? What do you want? What do they look like? Like be very specific because your manifestations are being heard. So that says to me, a lot of you do spend a lot of time in a more spiritual space, a spiritual environment, devoting yourself to something higher than you and I, right? Something higher spiritually is what I'm trying to say, not so eloquently. And then you have the Lovers. So yeah, this is to me like, we hear you. Keep manifesting the person you want who's going to contribute positively to your life. You're an excellent lover. You are very giving and nurturing. And I have to be honest, especially sexually, I'm getting that you're not a selfish lover. And Spirit notes that. So they want to pair you with someone similarly, right? For those who are single and looking or dating or flirting, it's like, universe doesn't want you to settle for less than you deserve, because this says to me, you have a lot to bring to the table. So don't settle to be the other person or the other woman. If you are dealing in third-party relationships and you're not a swinger, which I don't think most of you are, but hey, no judgment. If you are looking for exclusivity, stop putting energy into relationships or people when you flat out know, well, they're only kind of available, or they're going to break up with her, they're going to break up with him, so maybe if I wait, like, no, that's not the one. Like, why would you diminish your value that way, Pisces? I'm giving you a little bit of tough love because universe is saying to me, Pisces is so good. They have such a beautiful soul. It's like, why are they settling for people who don't treat them that way? Anyway, I don't want to lecture you because this is actually what you're doing right. We're going to get to areas of growth. The thing is, I think some of you are thinking you've already found your soulmate, and not all of you are wrong. But the reason why I'm saying you may change your mind, I would be open to that, because your area of growth has to do with the soulmate, whereas the positive attributes you have calling in your soulmate, it may actually differ for you, and I would just be open to that, Pisces, okay? Did you hear me? Did you hear that? I know you guys are like, no, that's not me. I know who they are. I'm going to say that one more time because I really want to hammer that home. Soulmates doesn't have to be your forever person. It could be that you connected in another lifetime and hey, you met in this one and that's great. It doesn't mean it's the one you're going to end up with in this one lifetime, right? Because here's the thing, bottom line, look, you got two soulmates around you, don't you, Pisces? So please, I beg of you, don't settle for a person who only kind of treats you okay, because you are worth so much more than that, okay? Any Pisces who have strong Gemini in their chart, you have a soulmate coming in. In fact, they may already be here. You may know exactly who this is. You may have a soulmate who is a Gemini. But there's some message about my Pisces who strongly resonate with Gemini and energy. Some of you are going to be put together with a Gemini, if you aren't already, very soon. I sense that for a lot of you. Or possibly a Sagittarius or a Virgo. However you practice your spirituality, keep doing that. Do it more. Do it more. Make more time in the day to connect with your spirit guides. That will serve you and set you up very well in relationships, even if you're already in one, right? Be open to receiving guidance, not just from me, right? You know, shop around. There's many beautiful, amazing tarot readers out there, but specifically your tribe, your spirit guides, your ancestors. Ask them for help and wisdom. And I want to say this to you, don't go in wanting a specific answer, because that completely defeats the purpose. Same with tarot, right? If you're only watching this to hear that the Virgo is going to up and leave their wife to be with you, you're not watching tarot for the right reasons. Like, that's, no offense, I love you guys, but if that's your mission, is like, you know, is the Cancer coming towards me? If that's your main purpose of watching tarot, you're missing what tarot is here to teach you. It's what I would sort of call spiritually immature. I said it. Don't shoot the messenger. Ooh, y'all hitting that dislike button, aren't you? Whatever. I don't care. It's my channel, right? I gotta hit you with these like actual messages of substances. Anyway, so let's focus on areas that it just needs a little bit more growth. It needs a little bit more time and attention. Clearly, you do have a lot going for you. You do. You have a lot. But yeah, you're having issues with the soulmate. This has to do with, again, wanting to believe something that is false because, I don't know, Pisces, because it's comfortable, because it's familiar, because it's scary to be single again. A lot of you settled with the wrong person, but you have this nagging feeling that you made a mistake. And I would argue with you, no, you didn't make a mistake. You're probably exactly on course. Part of your spiritual growth is to compensate for areas where maybe you glossed over it the first time or where you were, I don't know, impulsive and rushed in. I'm getting something about a lot of you need to kind of pull it back to you. You may have been overextending energy to the wrong people or the wrong person. A lot of you need to, I don't know why this is coming up, a lot of you need to look up the definition of a soulmate because something about you're clouded or your definition of what that means, it's actually changed over the years, but I'm literally seeing the Four of Pentacles, man. You're holding on to ideologies about twin flame soulmate dynamics and you're clinging to it, but there's something about needing to be, again, spiritually mature. Understanding that everything in life is always in constant flux and changing of energies. And it feels like you need to go along with that. And you can easily. You're the fish. You can swim upstream if you want to, but there's something about clinging on to something and it's not for your best and highest good. It may have to do with a water sign, a Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. You like their protection. You like their loyalty, but there's something about you also feel like you're just their little plaything, like you're their little sex toy. And again, in the short term, there's nothing wrong with that, but because it's coming up in this area of focus, I would offer you, is there something you're not seeing about this, or is there something you're refusing to see about this? Because it's already like, this is so silly, but it's almost like you've already picked out your china pattern. You've already picked out your wedding dress. And it's almost like, again, you put the cart before the horse because what you felt for this person was so intense that it's almost too much to even ponder and think about to have to redesign the plan. Does that make sense to anyone out there? Especially with other water signs, Scorpio big time, especially a male Scorpio, Cancer, Pisces. The sex is good. I get it. That's important, but you can't build a relationship purely on that. Like there has to be something more of substance. And so I'll offer this to some of you as well. A lot of you feel like you've plateaued a little bit, and it's not that there isn't love there, it's that it just got stagnant, especially with my water sign couples. Pisces, you're a water sign, right? But whoever you're dealing with, or if they have a very strong like watery moon or something like that, there's something about you guys lost the initial spark or magic, but again, if there's mutual love there, you can get it back, but you have to like spice it up. Especially, I was going to say especially you, but I suppose it could be your person. Like, and I don't at all mean to be crude, and I don't think you'll think that, but especially in the bedroom, it's like you guys reached the end goal, but it doesn't feel as like victorious as it did, because there was something very exciting about like the, the honeymoon stage of this relationship. The emotions were there, the passion was there, it was intense, it was beautiful, and there's something about that, it feels like it's slipping from your grip. So I am sort of seeing creative solutions, especially in the bedroom, whatever that means to you, and it doesn't have to be just exclusively in the bedroom. Creative solutions to keep this interesting. A lot of you are going to be really into like role playing. Interesting. Okay. And a lot of you, if you've had children with this person, and again, it seems like there's still love there, that just could be a factor where it's like you put on, the mom hat or the dad hat, and all of a sudden it's like, oh, wait a minute, what about like our sex life? Like we're still, we still have these needs and desires as a romantic couple despite, the kids or this or that. I feel like for some of you, there's a reinvigoration of what felt like the honeymoon stage. And like, this is such a beautiful message too. It feels very Piscean. It's like, if you're in a relationship that feels good and there is love there, that's when you want to capitalize on that Neptune energy that you guys are so attached to, right? Jupiter energy too, well, as well, expansion, but like fantasy, exploration, creativity. I'm even going to say artistry, right? There's something about putting your passion back into the relationship because it got lost somewhere along the way. It doesn't mean you won't find it again. Now, for others of you, as I've said, your gut intuition may be feeling like, is it time to, should we be trying time apart? Like, is it time to sever it? Is it time to cut it? Only you really know the answer to that. I'm not going to pretend that it's all written out here for me because it's not. I can see a lot of my Pisces are in different stages of what they're going through, but there is a loss of what you felt initially with this person. Gemini, Aquarius, and Scorpio are coming through very strong. And it doesn't have to be, your ex, your current person, your whoever. Those three signs are really wanting to be seen, especially the Scorpio. And this is very specific, so understood it's not for everyone. Some of you may have, this is a heavy one, so just brace yourself. Some of you may have lost a child. And that put a huge strain on your relationship, on the marriage. And again, it's simply coming up as, hey, this may need some attention. This needs a little bit of work and especially healing. It may have even been one of the causes to the ending of your marriage if you lost a child or even had trouble conceiving or something of the sort. That's coming up for you, but it's hopeful in that you can heal from this, but you have to put in almost the mental effort to even revisit that memory of the past, because I do get that something very heavy and very difficult happened between you and your partner. And it's a very sensitive subject to the point where Spirit is telling me, like, easy. Like, they know what it is. You don't need to say much more. So if that's your message, I have to have faith that you know what it is. Not all is lost there. If that is a huge source of pain for you, know that when you put a little bit of time and effort into acknowledging it and going through the uncomfortable motions of wanting to heal it, there will be so much relief for you on the other side. So wherever the source of any pain or hurt or harm or resentment, whatever that is, it's like a deep-seated wound. If you give it a little love and attention and TLC, you can heal from this. And it may just happen with your mate. Maybe you end up going to couples counseling or couples therapy. Some of you have a mate who is incredibly soulful and incredibly healing, but there's also a difficult message of, but they can't do the healing work for you. They're there to love you and support you, but ultimately you have to heal your own wounds, especially if they're childhood wounds, right? Any Pisces who are a sibling or a child of an Aquarius parent who maybe had like an alcohol abuse issue or something like that, that's coming up. Anyway, okay, last but not, I don't need to leave you high and dry though. Those are just kind of some, cherry pick the ones that speak to you and ignore the ones that don't, or revisit the ones that don't because they may mean something later. Let's go lighthearted now. Let's talk about who or what is coming into your life romantically. So this says, express your love. Go ahead and make the romantic gesture. So I think this similar card came up in Cancer's reading. So anyone dealing with a Cancer, if you're connecting with someone new-ish, it might just be saying, be a little bit bold, be a little bit confident. Don't be afraid to advocate and speak your truth. If you got a crush on someone, you don't always have to be the one who is the chasee, right? Sometimes it would do you well to put your best foot forward and be the chaser. And I mean, obviously in a safe way. Don't be overly sexually aggressive, right? But and obviously I'm always a big proponent of being safe and honoring and respecting people's boundaries, but I would even offer being a little bit sexually forward might actually be a very good thing for you guys, right? If you tend to be more passive and like, oh, I don't want to, I'll let them come first, male or female, right? You're not always going to be the one who's going to be chased. You sometimes need to make the first move. So let's see. Yeah, so the same message is coming through here. And it does have to do with being at a crossroads of, I love this person, but am I in love with them anymore? So quite simply, some of you are going to choose to pursue new things, especially a new fire sign, an Aries, Leo, Sag. It's almost like this may even be a relationship that you're no longer in, but you still hold on to the memory of it. That's huge here. In fact, that's the main message. For most of you, this is saying if you still have a little bit of lingering, it feels like mental baggage, but it can be emotional, right? You still occasionally go back to that person. there's such a theme of transformation here. So I don't know if you're going from a Scorpio or to a Scorpio, whatever. Maybe you got Scorpio in your chart. There's something about Phoenix from the ashes. Something that it was very clouded and mucky, and it's like the air was filled with ash, and you were trying to meet a new person or a new soulmate, but you still felt like you were engulfed in the flames of something that already transpired, or again, with a person who it's like they were lowering your vibe. Suddenly, I shouldn't say suddenly, when you are ready to, you decide to like make your way through the smoke, and you are on a mission to find something new and completely detach yourself from the past. In a relationship where you once wore rose-tinted glasses, or you're very sentimental, but well, one day if they're ready, maybe we'll get back together. You can keep doing that, Pisces, but I have to be honest, for the majority of you who are living in that state of, oh, wouldn't it be nice when they're ready, a lot of you, universe is like, are we still doing this? It's been 2 years. So a lot of you will choose to put your best foot forward, and you have a fire sign waiting for you in Aries, Leo, Sag. There's something about burning the memories of your old person. So some of you may literally be going through like not a junk box, it'd be opposite, a very sentimental shoe box or whatever it is, your drawer or whatever, and you may end up burning a love letter or a poem or something very significant, because it feels like a monumental moment for you, where you are no longer trying to keep ties to people in the past who didn't honor you. Something you used to romanticize and sentimentalize, whatever, the t-shirt that was theirs that you held on to, a lot of you are literally burning it, and it feels in a very like almost spiritual ceremony of like decluttering, what is the word? I'm hearing detox of the energy that you were holding on to, but it wasn't really around you. It was something about the idea that if I keep this t-shirt, if I keep this love letter, it's like they're still in my life. You're moving forward now with this truth of, are you with me or are you not? Do you love me or do you not? And then if the answer is no, boom, you're done. And I know some of you think like, oh, I could never do that. The thing is, I think you have partnership coming in that's so much better. It may happen overlapping. It could be that you're still sort of holding out for the past person or whoever, and you kind of meet someone new, and I don't know how I feel about this message, but I can't not share it, which is that this person may just change your mind. And I hate to have you live in a state where you're going to hold on to them until someone else shows up. I don't think that's healthy. I think you should cut ties with it and honor your truth. Don't be afraid to be alone, Pisces. There's amazing things can happen to you spiritually when you detach from people entirely, not forever, right? I think a lot of you have a fire sign or a Scorpio coming in that it changes things. There's this new spark, and it gets you very excited to pursue something in the future with the lessons you learned, implementing the difficult lessons you may have learned in this relationship that's either coming in or already circling around you. Some of you have already connected with someone. It could have been socially, but it could have been on a dating app. It could be friends of a friend that you're already kind of talking to. It does feel like some of you may have a longtime friend who's professing more than friendship to you. Like this could certainly indicate that you go from being friendly to something more sexual, right? There could be a more physical aspect to your relationship if that hasn't been there before. Let me give you a couple more. In terms of zodiac signs, who might Pisces be dealing with in the month of February or near future? You do have soulmates coming in. Pisces, hey, that's you. Maybe you're dealing with another Pisces. That's a lot of feelings. That's a lot of cuddling, though, right? We like that. This deck sticks a little bit, so bear with me. Oop, there's two. Okay. Taurus and Gemini. And then we'll pull one more. We'll see who else wants to come out. Pisces and Gemini. Pisces, Gemini, and Taurus. Taurus, Gemini, and Pisces. Any of those ring a bell? You do have two cards of Taurus here. No, that's it. Spirit might be saying that's it for zodiac signs. Oh, there we go. Gemini again. Libra's at the bottom. So I also want to argue this, because Gemini is the twin. I'm actually going to have you consider multiple meanings of that. Is there a twin? Does this have to do with twin flame karmic relationships? Don't be afraid to put an end to something that you know isn't serving you any longer. I know it's scary, but judgment says you're pretty much graduated from this. We go from 20 to 21, the world. This is a whole new playing field. We have ascended, and we have an ascending viewpoint. We can finally see the forest from the trees. Some of you may take I wanted to say the road less traveled. Something unpredictable, or it's something outside of your comfort zone, because there's a newfound empowerment in you. there's something very important about burning what was, burning the past, burning. It's literally you taking fire and flame to something and being like, I don't need this anymore. And the way you're doing it, it doesn't feel cruel. It feels like a spiritual awakening. Rather than just throwing it in your garbage, it's like you're burning it because it's like you're embracing the memories that go with it, but in a way where you're not codependent or, or glamorizing the past. There's something very like the spiritual moment of I don't need this anymore. Oh, Pisces, it feels so good. All right, let me give you one of these oracle cards. We'll wrap it on up, and I'll give you a love oracle as well. I have to remember to do that. What message wants to come out for Pisces in this reading? Some of you are going to start a relationship too that isn't necessarily your long-term goal, but there's something compatible about this, and it's almost like, I hate to say it, I'm not putting the kibosh on it, it's fine. It's like an in-betweener. So it could be that the next person you connect with, it's like they're comfortable and you enjoy it, but I think in time you're going to realize, I'm not quite ready to settle down yet, because it doesn't feel like the right one. Universe is saying, good, trust that. Trust that you will never make the wrong mistake. You are always being guided by a higher power, Pisces. All right, an oracle card for Pisces. Nothing's coming out. Oh, that one's sticking out. What does it say? Starseed, what lights you up? And I like that coming out with the Ace of Wands. The Ace of Wands to me is like that spark. It's like a match, right? A matchbook. I love that. All right, Starseed, what lights you up? What lights your fire? Is it Jim Morrison? All right, I'm going to wrap it up. I'm going to let you read this oracle card in its entirety. So remember to like, share, subscribe. I will see you guys next time for more tarot readings on Mondays. This one says Plato. All right, take a good look at that. At the touch of a lover, everyone becomes a poet. Love is simply the name for the desire and pursuit of the whole. The madness of love is the greatest of heaven's blessings.